Hello and welcome. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Leyna.
And this is
Pass Me the Booze, a paranormal podcast where we discuss the history and hauntings of local and not so local places while partaking in adult beverages.
In each episode, we share a different haunted place and pair it with a drink.
This week,
Dybbuk.
Dybbuk or Dybbuk if they're plural.
So, what are you drinking this week, my dear friend?
I'm drinking a bottle of wine. And I'm classy with it, so I drink right out of the bottle.
Nice. What kind of wine is it?
It is just a Cabernet Sauvignon. It's called Josh.
Josh, okay. Well, since this is this subject is based in Jewish folklore, is it kosher?
Probably not. No. Like, from what wine might be kosher, period.
I know there's some that aren't. I'm not sure what makes it kosher and what makes it not kosher. I'm not Jewish, so
yeah, I don't know either. What I do know is that this is not wine that you would drink on Shabbat Shalom. Or Shabbat.
Okay.
No, Shabbat Shalom is the Shabbat Shalom, hey. I'm having a day over here. It's really what's happening. So this is not the wine you would drink on Shabbat. That is normally sweet.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it is the wine I'm drinking tonight.
Well,
what
I will
are
drink
you
along with
drinking?
you. I'm not going to be drinking out of this bottle per se.
Oh, come on.
But this is just the bottle that my wine is currently in. So let's crack this open. Yeah, I'm actually going to put it in my little witch cauldron mug.
Okay,
it's my favorite mug.
You're more classy than I am. You are classier. Congratulations. Okay, well, eventually I will see you face to face.
But yeah, the reason that we're drinking wine is because the Dybbuk Box, which is what I'm going to be talking about, is a wine cabinet. So there we go.
It's so on point for us too.
So cute, so fun.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in.
So tell me.
So a Dybbuk.
Tell me about this creature.
I know. So a Dybbuk, or the plural Dybbukum, is a disembodied human spirit that, because of former sins, wanders restlessly until it finds a haven in the body of a living person. Being possessed by a Dybbuk means, or would cause, mental illness, specifically schizophrenia. The spirit can talk through your mouth and represents a separate and alien personality.
That does sound on point for possession.
Right. The term Dybbuk does not actually appear in Talmud. I'm about to butcher all of these words, and I apologize in advance. I am not Jewish.
Yeah, my name is very Jewish, but I am not myself. So we're going to try our best here. I don't know a lick of Hebrew.
I apologize in advance to my starshines who are listening from the Jewish camp that I worked at.
I'm sure they'll text you later, just be like, that's not right.
Oh, I'll get to hear all about it later. It's fine. So the term Dybbuk does not appear in Talmudic literature.
Okay.
But it is referred to as evil spirit, or, Lord have mercy, Ru'ah Tezazit. And in the New Testament, it's called unclean spirit. The term Dybbuk was actually introduced in literature in the 17th century from the German and Polish Jews as an abbreviation of Dybbuk mi Ru'ah Ra'ah.
That sounds way better than I think I could have tried, so props.
Or, Dybbuk min ha hizonim, The first meaning, a cleavage of an evil spirit, and the second meaning, Dybbuk from the outside.
Okay.
So cleavage, in the Bible, or at least in the Christian Bible, because I can do that one. In the Bible, the word cleave means two different things in different contexts. So a man would cleave from his parents and cleave to his wife. So he would cleave from his parents, as in a separation, and then cleave to his wife, as in a union and a joining of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so is it like based in a familial context alone?
So it's not familial, it's more of like a weird verb.
Just, the act of, okay. It's like a transition, okay.
It's a transition, or it's either a linking of or a separation of.
Okay.
In the phrasing, Dybbuk mi ra'a, I don't know which cleave that is.
Okay.
I don't know if it means cleave as in the separation of like the spirit from the body, or it cleave as in an evil spirit cleaving onto someone's body.
That one sounds like more of what it could be.
You never know, man.
Like the possession aspect.
Yeah.
But
so, well, if I continue reading on my notes, the act of attachment of the spirit to the body became the name of the spirit itself. So it is attaching, which is weird, but that's how language goes. However, the verb devak, or to cleave, is found throughout Kabbalistic literature, where it talks about the relationship between the evil spirit and the body.
Okay.
I set myself up for failure with these notes, I swear to God. Mit dab ket bo, it cleaves itself to him.
Ooh.
That's the full sentence there, as I attempted to read it.
Good job.
I'm doing great. Stories about Dybbukim are common in the time of the Second Temple and the Talmudic periods, particularly in the Gospels. At first, the Dybbuk was considered to be a devil or a demon which entered the body of a sick person. Later, an explanation common among other peoples was added, namely that some of the Dybbukim are the spirits of dead people who were not laid to rest and thus became demons.
Oh.
This idea, also common in medieval Christianity, combined with the doctrine of Gilgal, the transmigration of the soul, in the 16th century, became widespread and accepted by large segments of the Jewish population, together with the belief in Dybbukim. They were generally considered to be souls which, on account of the enormity of their sins, were not even allowed to transmigrate, and as denuded spirits, they sought refuge in the bodies of a living person. The entry of a Dybbukim into a person, or a Dybbuk into a person, was a sign of his having committed a secret sin which opened the door for the Dybbuk. So, in other words, they're saying, if you got possessed by a Dybbuk, it's because you fucked up. And you never,
you committed some kind of sin that you haven't told anyone about. It's this big secret.
You opened the door.
So they're going to crack that wide open. Yep.
So Isaac Luria was born in 1534, died in 1572. However, during his short little life there of like 40-some years, 30-some years, he founded the Lurianic school of Kabbalah, which was a Jewish esoteric mysticism school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a school for what? That sounds so cool.
I know, right?
I want to sign up for that.
Same. Luria became well-versed in rabbinic studies in Egypt and came up with the doctrine of transmigration of souls, which helped name the Jewish belief in Dybbukim.
Okay.
So transmigration of souls was initially a means by which souls could continue their task of self-perfection. Disciples of Luria then expanded this theory to include the notion of possession by a Dybbuk. Jewish scholar and folklorist S. Ansky could not find S's first name, it's just S period.
Just call me S.
Yeah. Contributed to the worldwide interest. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. Contributed to the worldwide interest in the Dybbukum when his Yiddish drama Der Dybbuk was translated into several languages.
Oh.
And that came out in 1916.
Ooh.
Yeah. Rachel Elior theorized that possession by Dybbuk was not only a punishment for a sin, but it could have been used as a mechanism by desperate women who had no other means of escape but from the demands and expectations of an all-encompassing patriarchal social order. Now, that was the part I was like, I love that little. That's my notes for the entire thing.
I'm on board.
Yeah, right? So, Elior's theory was pretty much women were like, fuck the patriarchy, I'm just gonna be possessed by a dead dude. Live my best life. Get to escape mentally anyways. Cheers.
You know what? You take over this. You know what you're doing. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've had enough of this. I'm out.
Historically speaking, individuals suffering from mental disorders were thought to be possessed by a Dybbuk. They were typically taken to a rabbi, specifically a Baal Shem, which in Judaism is the title bestowed upon a man who reputedly worked wonders and effected curses through the secret knowledge of the ineffable name of God.
What? So, like, they knew God's name, and that gave them the power to kind of throw them out?
Yeah, apparently, like, these Baal Shems knew the ineffable name of God and were able to are able to perform wonders and cures.
That's metal as fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? But they're also apparently the only types of rabbi who can expel the harmful Dybbuk through a religious rite of exorcism.
Right.
So if you cannot find a Baal Shem, you're fucked. Dybbuks are thought to come from the domain of evil, referred to as Sitra Ahra, A-H-R-A.
Okay.
Or, more commonly known as, the other side.
Oh.
In Kabbalistic terminology. An inversion of the divine world, Sitra Ahra, is home to dark forces and demons. Satan, unfortunately, does not play a really big part in Kabbalistic mythology, though he does appear occasionally either as himself or in the guise of the fallen angel Samael.
Okay.
However, according to these lores, Satan is not the one that you should fear. The Dybbukum and demons are.
I've often heard that the devil himself is not, like, the scariest one, but it's his, like, little henchmen and the other demons that are, like, the worst.
Like, as a Christian.
Yes.
Let me chug some wine here first.
Chug some Josh. That's so weird.
Please don't say that. Don't tell me I'm chugging Josh. I draw the line there. That's your boo thing's name. Line. Solid line here. Next time I see Josh, I'm gonna be like, yo, I chugged a bottle of you. Let's see what happens.
If you know what I mean.
So that is all from the historical aspect of where the terminology and kind of like Kabbalist. I know I'm not saying that word right. The Kabbalistic mythology.
Kabbalist?
No, because it's definitely Kabbal.
Yes.
Oh no. I'm gonna say that I'm saying it right. It's Kabbalistic.
Okay. I trust you. But no, yeah, that was really interesting, honestly. Thank you for that. Because,
Yeah.
like, I only knew about, like, the demon and, like, what it does or whatever. I didn't know any of, like, the history behind it. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much just says that it, like, fucks with people. It's like, it's your pretty standard fucking demon or poltergeist type deal.
Yeah.
As far as impact goes. But I am dying. Looking forward to
We're all
hearing.
dying, Leyna.
Slowly. I'm dying a little faster. It's fine. Please share what you have down in your notes before I. So, this was up here.
Oh my god, how long ago?
When did we start?
Like 20 minutes ago?
20 minutes ago.
You have to talk to other adults today.
No. I drank some water, it's fine.
So, with that, on that terrible note, we're going to talk about the Dybbuk Box. I'm sure some of you may have heard this before. If not, here we go.
Is this the one that was on eBay?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
So we get that whole backstory. I'm very excited for this one. And if we have time, if we gotta like split this up or something, I do have some of my own experiences with the actual Dybbuk Box at the end. So we'll get there. So back in 2001, an antique salesman named Kevin Manis bought a little unassuming wine cabinet that he got at an estate sale of a Holocaust survivor that passed away at the ripe old age of 103. After he... Good for her.
Girl.
And what is your secret?
Judaism.
Well, I'm halfway there, I guess. But like I said, I'm not Jewish, but my family converted at one point.
Converted from or to?
From. So my
Yeah,
grandfather... Yeah, my grandfather, with the last name Needleman, converted from Judaism to marry my Catholic grandmother. And so that's how that got, yeah. Love. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like the way the culture works is you're Jewish, period.
Right.
And then you either do or don't practice
Judaism, right?
Yeah.
I know. I know it has something to do with if your mother was Jewish, then you are inherently Jewish.
If you're,
I'm fucking it up. I know.
No, you're not. You're not. If your mom is a practicing Jew,
yes,
you are Jewish. So, like in those terms, my mother's a practicing Catholic, but I'm Catholic.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm fascinated by this because I don't know like any of my family history. Like that's it. That's as far as
we need to do a deep dive into the Needleman.
I really want to go on Ancestry.com and just go down a rabbit hole, honestly. But back to this. So, after he'd bought the box and was loading his purchases onto his truck, the young granddaughter of the old woman said, "I see you bought the Dybbuk Box." She went on to say that whenever the old woman, she went on to say that whenever someone brought it up, her grandmother would spit through her fingers 3 times and say it should never be opened. Kevin is also Jewish and grew up with the tellings of the Dybbuk as a kid of like a kind of a scary story to keep kids in line, so he really didn't think of anything of it at the time. And so the box had a small brass lock on it, so when he brought it back to his shop, he removed the lock, and a moment later, the doors opened by themselves. He thought it was strange, as the box didn't seem to really be fancy enough to have that kind of mechanism that would allow it to open in such a way, so he just wrote it off. Inside, there were 2 pennies made in the 1920s, a candlestick holder, a small chalice or wine goblet, and a small statue made of several different types of granite with the word shalom carved into it in Hebrew, and 2 locks of hair. So for those that may not know, shalom means peace or harmony in Hebrew.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
So one day, one of his employees, Jane, was cleaning up the basement where the box was while Kevin was out. Jane had been down in the basement many times, often for hours, and wasn't bothered by the space at all. Not creeped out or anything, but on this particular day, she felt as though something was watching her and knew in her gut that something just felt off. So while she was cleaning, she switched the light off and went to answer the phone upstairs. When she came back down to the basement, the light had turned back on. And once she noticed this, she heard glass loudly shatter. And then more glass all around her, like someone with a baseball bat was just going around and smashing things. So freaked out, she called Kevin saying that there was someone in the basement, but she couldn't see anyone. She couldn't see who it was. And as soon as Kevin told her, call the police, his phone died. So when Kevin got back to the store, he went down to the locked basement. So the basement was locked now from the outside, and found all 10 4-foot light fixtures had burst. And he eventually found Jane in the dark, who clearly had been crying. And she,
Poor Jane, same girl.
very upset. So she actually cursed Kevin out, thinking that he had pulled some kind of like malicious prank on her, and left and never came back to the store. And at that time, like, he was also convinced it was Jane that had like tried to pull something on him, because there was like no other way. There was no explanation for it as to how this happened. Like, there was no other way that someone could have like come into the basement other than the basement door. So we're gonna fast forward to his mother's birthday. This is one of the more popular stories that people know about the box. So Ida, the woman who was gifted the box, immediately felt there was something off about it. She said that it felt like the box was looking back at her, and when she opened it, a cold breeze flew out with an energy that felt so evil that she couldn't move. And it was at that point that she knew she was having a stroke. Yep.
That escalated. I got blue on, and then I stroked out.
Out.
Stroke.
Yep.
All right.
Yep, immediately.
I don't like that.
Ooh. At that time, she was in her son's shop, and he was downstairs taking a phone call. And she said in the interview that I watched, all I could think was, Kevin is downstairs. Am I going to die before I see my son?
Oh, Ida.
It broke my fucking heart.
Sweet baby.
So this was the last straw for Kevin. He was finally convinced that the common denominator for all of the things going wrong around the shop were due to the box. So he decided to try and sell it.
As you do.
As you do. Fuck that thing. So one time he says an older couple came in and bought the box. Good, done. It's gone, so he thinks. A few days later, he finds the box sitting by the door with a note on it. The note says, "This has an odd darkness about it." That's it.
Sounds like just such a like grandma or grandpa thing to do. Like, I don't even want my money back, dude. Just take this. It's weird.
You can have it back. I don't have my receipt. Goodbye.
Oh. At least they weren't Karens about it. Positive.
They didn't even want to be seen, apparently. They're just like, no, okay, here you go. So, with no luck getting rid of it, he puts it in an old storage shed until he can figure out what to do with it. Then he starts to have strange dreams. So he would be, in his dreams, he would be with someone he knew and trusted in a very nice setting. And they'd be walking together, and almost instantly, the person would turn into the most evil, gruesome-looking hag, and the hag would proceed to beat the absolute shit out of him.
Okay.
Surprise, bitch.
Okay, but like, have you ever read any of like Freud's dream theory?
No. Oh my god, do you know some? Please tell
Just a
me.
little fucking bit.
Oh my god.
I don't remember what his whole thing was when you get like assaulted or like beat up in your dreams.
Uh-huh.
But like the point of it being a hag, Freud would have been like,
Yeah.
"You're scared of your mother."
It always comes back to the mother.
Actually, it always comes back to penises and vaginas. If you really want to get into it,
Yeah.
you know, you dream of a ladder. You're scared of the male penis. You're scared. You dream like you're falling down a hole. You're scared of a vagina.
Okay, Freud.
This is Freud. But like, one of the things that stuck out there is Freud theorized that if you dreamed of skin afflictions,
Okay.
like pimples or like blistered skin or like gruesomeness, physical gruesomeness, it
Yeah.
meant that you were like suppressing something that you had fucked up. Like you knew you did something wrong. You know, or you suspect you've done something wrong, but
And
you
that's
haven't come to terms with it. And that's what you like. You dream of like decay.
And that's
Like
super
teeth.
interesting that you say that,
Mhm.
because you mentioned that they were attracted to like major sins that people commit, right?
Yeah, secret sins. You opened the
Interesting
fucking
parallel.
door. Yeah, opened the door there, fucking Kevin. You fucked up. You done fucked up.
What have you done, Kevin? You brought the wrong fucking box home, friend.
This is mine now. And the Dybbuk was like, "Yes, I am."
Are we roommates now?
Hey, best friend.
They were roommates! So he says that he didn't believe it himself, but he would regularly start waking up with bruises, and he would have this recurring dream every night, no matter what. His siblings would later report having similar dreams. So, in the time he had the box, Kevin and others experienced seeing shadow figures, the doors opening by themselves of the cabinet, and smells of jasmine and cat urine. Ugh. If you've ever smelled cat urine, you know.
So, there's this flower.
Okay.
Called like a paperwhite.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells like fucking piss.
Oh.
But also like floral.
Oh.
So like, or at least I'm 100% convinced it smell like paperwhites smell like piss. If you want to disagree with me, send in your story.
I've never had the displeasure.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're really pretty flowers. They're normally
Yeah.
like wildflowers that you like would find in a field or some shit. But they smell straight up like floral urine. So when you tell me it smelled like jasmine and pee, I'm like, oh, so it's a paperwhite.
Oh, I'm curious, but I'm also revolted. So, determined to get rid of the pee-smelling box, he posted it on eBay as a haunted Dybbuk box.
As you do.
He was fully transparent about it, even putting a full disclosure of everything he believed was happening because of it. His hope was that someone who dealt with the occult would take it and just dispose of it properly. Well, his hopes didn't fully come to fruition because a couple of college students named Brian and Sam found the listing on eBay, complete with Kevin's very long disclosure about everything that had happened. Yep.
Fucking college students, man.
It's a wild ride. Here we go. So, about 3 weeks later, one of the housemates, Brian, came home from lunch and was greeted with a very strong stench of urine. He walked into the kitchen and saw the box sitting on the table, shocked that Sam actually bought the thing. God damn it, Sam.
Sam.
So, Sam was determined to record everything that happened in a blog. About the first week and a half, there's nothing to report. He says no bad dreams, no hag. So at that point, they would use it as like a big talking point at their parties, like, oh yeah, we got this cursed old wine cabinet off eBay, and you'll probably have bad dreams for the rest of your life. So at one point at the party, they were all kind of joking around and announced dramatically that it was time to open the box. And so they slowly opened the box, and as you might expect, in a room full of people, nothing happened immediately. So they went about their night. It was in the days after opening the box, they started to experience activity, especially with electronics. So Sam's laptop suddenly crashed and had to be replaced, along with other electronics dying every day, including their Xbox, toaster, TV, and watches.
You know what? I'm really sorry, but like, you fucking deserve it, kids.
You played with fucking fire, guess what?
You know what? Play dumb games, get dumb prizes. That's all I have to say.
So true.
Play dumb games, get dumb prizes. That is it.
Oh my god. But remember last week when my fucking when my computer was shitting out while we were recording?
You're gonna see this like in post. But your camera has been like zooming in and out on you. Like very subtly.
Really?
Like it's not like a like zoom out.
Oh, I see it.
You see how it's like move? It's like focusing almost.
Yeah, it's trying to focus on like the focal point, but maybe there's something moving behind me that I can't see.
No.
Please leave me alone. I'm just trying to do my side gig, please. I knew I should have called on Saint Michael for Archangel Michael for this.
Michael.
That's what got us through our last recording because
oh my god, you're not wrong.
My computer almost crashed like after I had finished researching this topic. Last time we recorded, we had to do it like 3 different times because my computer kept crashing and I didn't know why.
You know what?
And this is a brand new setup.
I know. So. It's a nice setup too.
Thank you.
You know, just real fast, you know, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Just go there.
Thank you. Shalom.
Shalom. Shabbat shalom.
All right. So, Brian reports that one day coming home, he found that there were bugs all over the house. So up the walls, in the sinks, in every room of the house, like a sudden infestation out of nowhere, and then gone within a few hours.
You know, I'm gonna call bullshit. You're college kids.
I was gonna say, a couple of college guys.
I work in housing. I know this shit. You had cockroaches because you're fucking disgusting. The smell of pee when you walked in was probably from a party the night before because someone peed in the corner next to the door.
Or on your couch. That shit's hard to detect until you like sit down in the couch and you're like, what is that smell?
Or the carpeting when you like walk on it, it like releases the smell as you walk.
Foul.
Motherfuckers.
Gross. Get the vacuum out.
Get the Clorox out. Well, I saw that shit. Where's the bleach? Just escalate it. Just keep going.
So, over the following months, Sam actually became more and more of a recluse and reports in his blog that he's starting to see things in his peripheral vision, but most disturbingly, he says, quote, "Last Tuesday, my hair started to fall out. Maybe it's stress. I don't know. Today, it's half gone." He then expresses that he doesn't want the box anymore. So think about that. In like less than a week, half of his hair just fell out. That's scary.
That is, I'm like, the scientist in me is trying to sit here and going like, what could be the cause?
Like but stress, also, sure, your hair could fall out, but at that rate and so much of it?
Well, I mean, acute alopecia is like your fucking hair, you lose all of it.
Sure. But could that develop like later in life, do you think?
It could be random. Like I had alopecia due to medication that I was taking when I was in the hospital.
Oh.
And like for years after that hospital visit too, like I had alopecia, like I had bald spots on my head.
Yeah, so if he
It's
was taking
Yeah, it like
medications at the time, I don't know if he was. I don't think he
I mean,
was, but
well, medication, anxiety, because
yeah,
like anxiety,
college is
depression,
hard.
PTSD,
Hmm.
alopecia is a common like handhold horribleness that happens with all of those things.
Hmm.
As well as like if you stop taking care of yourself,
Yeah, which sounds like what was
your
happening.
fucking hair is gonna fall out, bro. Like
Hmm.
that's just gonna happen if you like stop showering, stop eating, and like don't drink as much water as you should.
Yeah, you don't have those vitamins, the vitamins. It's just a very odd, very weird timing. I don't like how quickly his health like just devolved
I
in the
mean,
matter of like half a week.
sure, but I
Very
also want to like
unsettling.
theorize that you're not a healthy human being if your first thought after seeing that there's a haunted Dybbuk box on eBay is to buy it.
That's mine.
I'm sorry, but if your first reaction to seeing there is a haunted artifact that will cause me duress, and then your instinct is
It's probably fine.
bid, bid, bid until
Uh-huh.
you win the box, because that's how you get things on eBay. It's not just I'm on Amazon, let me like quick purchase this. You had to sit there and bid on it.
Yeah, and I think he bought it for $250, and like as a college student from experience, I know that's a lot of fucking money.
That is a shit. That's like that is almost an entire textbook.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot.
Samuel.
So my theory here is that Sammy Boy was not healthy to begin with.
Probably not, but it's very strange. So
I mean,
he
all of this
doesn't want this.
All of this is weird, but like Sammy Boy is a little
yeah.
Got some questions for you, my dude.
Yeah, so bad health habits aside, he doesn't want this thing anymore.
Oh, good for him.
Good, probably for the best. So, enter museum director Jason Haxton of the Truman State University Museum of Osteopathic Medicine. Quite a title.
That is a long title.
That's a lot of words. So with a love and fascination of historical artifacts, by 2004, Jason had been reading week by week Sam's blog about this mysterious box that he'd acquired. Jason figured if he could get his hands on the box, he could rationalize what was happening on a scientific basis. Yes, good, great.
I mean, I appreciate that though.
Yeah.
Like, let me do the fucking scientific theory here on
what the fuck is happening to these people?
On a haunted artifact. Yes.
And that's what I found in like the my research or whatever that I did, is that everyone that came into contact with the box was really trying to rationalize what was happening with it. They weren't immediately going to demons, you know what I mean?
The demons.
So I appreciate that about this story. But Jason recalls this point in time saying, quote, "Looking back at the words he wrote, there was a warning that I probably should have heeded, and I didn't."
What was the warning? What was the warning?
I'm gonna tell you. So, Sam at this point had put it up on eBay, and with bidders starting to flood in, and Jason determined to get his hands on this box, he put down double what Sam had paid for it at $280. So Sam originally paid $140, which is still a lot for a college student.
That is like a little textbook.
Yes. So the night he got the box, Jason wanted to examine it at the empty campus. He was aware that both Kevin's family and the student had experienced what seemed to be spontaneous illness. So while doing his forensic examination, he wanted to take the necessary precautions in case there was some kind of contaminant within the box.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so at one point he did a blacklight examination and noticed there was a light glow, and found there to be a spot of wax. So he says that it indicated that someone lit a candle and it dripped on the outside of the box, which suggested that someone could have used this ritually. So when he went to have a look inside the box, he said he almost expected something to happen immediately, if it was indeed haunted, but when everything was still, he just simply saw it as a historical piece. At this point in his interview, he said, quote, "I didn't realize how wrong I was and what was yet to come."
My dudes, there is like a very clear warning here on all of this shit.
Every step of the way, he's just like, I fucked up.
I do appreciate just how many people were like, meh, let me fuck up right now. It's fine.
It's probably fine. So, within days of having the box in the museum, the computer started crashing.
As it does.
As mine almost fucking did. Which caused them to lose very valuable information and weeks worth of work. I could not fucking imagine.
But like on what? Like what were they studying that they lost information on?
Well,
they're not backed up.
So from what I understand, they are like anthropologists. They're you.
Oh, hey, buddy.
So they have like they have a bunch of files on like historical pieces and like files on just important historical documents that were all probably digitized and just
that shit's
fucking gone.
Hard to like come by, and that shit's hard to digitize and like have a digital library of, period.
As someone who mainly works with computers and like video files and shit like that, I cannot imagine. I would be so angry.
I mean, as a historian and archaeology/anthropology person, I'd be pissed.
Just throw the whole computer out. Throw it out the window.
Something would be thrown out a window, and I don't think it would be the computer.
Myself. Goodbye. Yeet.
Yeet. Take the box with me as I go.
You're coming with me. So along with the computers crashing, oh, God bless them, all the lights near the Dybbuk Box started to fail. Even a few of his colleagues started to feel a complete depletion of energy, getting sick, and expressing that they felt uncomfortable around the box. So for the safety of his staff, Jason put the box in a lockbox in his truck where he felt it would be the safest at this point. Immediately, he reports having nightmares about this very old, sunken-eyed woman with the most ghastly injuries, as if their faces had been torn and ripped. Ugh. And he says no matter how many times he woke up that night, he would fall back into the exact same dream. And that morning when he woke up, he found his eyes were so bloodshot, they looked like they were bleeding.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Bro.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck this noise. No.
So, I'm going to pause there because I know you have a meeting to go to. But we're going to pick this up tomorrow during the afternoon, so we're going to be in different clothes. Just for context.
No, listen, no context to this.
No context.
No context. Just change.
Did they just... No?
What's the Bo Burnham joke about it?
I don't know.
It's in one of his specials where he's like, in one frame he's in like a long sleeve gray hoodie, and then in the next frame he's in a t-shirt that's gray as well. And he's talking about it, and there's like a term for these things that I can't remember off the top of my head at all.
I wish I could help you out, but I can't.
Thank you. It's okay. I'll have it for tomorrow.
All right.
It's my goal.
Hey, small goals every day.
Many victories.
You know what? Brush your hair. Brush your teeth. Small little victories every day.
Exactly. Drink a water.
Drink a little cup of water. All right. So gonna pause this. Outfit change.
And we're back. Also, an absolute surprise to no one, I'm an idiot, because I realized that my audio was recording through my webcam and not my microphone. So if I sound different, that's why.
Oh no. See, though, I blame the Dybbuk because, or the Dybbuk.
No, I'm just an idiot.
No, I blame them because they fucked with shit, and that's what we get for deciding to do an entire episode on demons.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's my own fault. All right, so yes, Jason's eyes. He woke up. They were bloodshot, like bleeding, and so Jason reports that he started having problems at home, random illnesses, even arguments between family members. And he says that one night when he was watching TV with his young son, the boy looks behind him and back at Jason to whisper, "Dad, what is that?" And Jason describes seeing a massive black shadow that looked like black flames creeping up the wall. So, with no scientific explanation for the things that were happening to him, Jason concluded that if he had in fact released something, he would need to find a way to seal it again.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Bro.
Good luck to you.
Logic.
So, as a way to isolate the box, he took it to a rental property that he owned, and stored it deep in the cellar. He locked the basement and left. So he's home relaxing, thinking he's finally free from whatever was tormenting his family, when all of a sudden he feels something tearing at his insides and starts...
Wait.
Yes?
Wait. I just got something. Wait a second. My brain did that thing where it like takes a second to process what you've just said. You mean to tell me that this man took
Yes.
the fucking haunted Dybbuk box?
Yes.
That's causing him mental, emotional, and physical turmoil, and put the fucking box in a basement of a house he rents out to people?
Mm-hmm. I think it was vacant at the time, but yeah.
But at the same time,
as long as it wasn't on his property.
But it's his property.
It's still like attached to him. Like I would have probably just kind of yeeted it into the woods, you know?
I would have fucking burned it at this point. I don't understand what we're doing here. Like,
yeah, if you released it, you know, fucking burn it.
Kindling.
Mm-hmm.
Pour some wine on it.
Have some nice mulled wine.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sounds so good right now. Like
Should've
some
put
like
this in the microwave.
Warm mulled wine.
Mm.
So he was a dick. Put the fucking box in a basement of a place that other human beings are gonna live in.
You silly goose.
Fuck, not even a silly goose. You're a dick. That is a dick move.
Dick move.
Like, 10 out of 10 don't agree with
actually,
what you would do.
T, you want to hear something?
I do want to hear something.
So this wasn't in the episode of Paranormal Witness that I watched with him in it. I found this out later in, I think, a Ghost Adventures episode. There was someone in that rental property at some point when the Dybbuk box was there, and Jason ended up finding this person in the basement dead with the box on the floor next to him.
Nope. Fuck off, no.
He just decided to leave that little tidbit out.
You know what, dude? That's like... What is it? Like, that's gotta be, like, manslaughter or something.
Paranormal manslaughter. There's gotta be a better name for that.
Paranormal manslaughter. That's the new title of our podcast, guys.
Murder of the cosmic infinite degree. So, Jason comes home and he's trying to relax when he feels something tearing at his insides and he starts vomiting up some weird gelatinous fluid, which it wasn't described that way, but it sounds like ectoplasm to me. So at the same time, his wife comes to him frantic because her arms have broken out in hives and are swollen and have burst, covering her in blood. So, determined to get rid of the box once and for all, Jason calls Kevin and says, "Please don't hang up. I really need your help." Because Kevin had hung up on him the first time that he called.
Of course you do. Good
He's
for
like,
Kevin.
"Nope."
Kevin's like, nah,
Nope,
not
no
my
thank you.
issue. Bye, guys.
Not my chair, not my problem. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
So together, they set out on putting this thing to rest once and for all. Kevin first went to the granddaughter whom he'd originally bought the box from, and she immediately turned him away.
Of course, smart.
No one fucking wants this thing.
Honestly, she's the smartest fucking character in this entire story.
Poor thing thought she was set. But as he's leaving, he hears a little old woman say, "I know why you're here." This woman introduced herself as Sophie, the cousin of the woman who had passed away, Havela. So Sophie goes on to tell Kevin that she lived with her cousin in Poland during World War II. After surviving the Holocaust, Havela reportedly used the box as a way to seal away her grief. When they were growing up, seances were all the rage, so it's possible that in attempting to seal away her grief in a ritualistic manner, she brought something else through.
But at the same time,
I
that's
know.
so sweet. Like,
she's like,
why
I can't carry this. I gotta put it somewhere.
Or she did a self-exorcism, which is what my theory is. But like, can we just take a second to appreciate the one, like specifically the older generation, but like just all the women in this story are like fucking boss ass bitches.
Tough.
Right?
Mama survived a stroke. Grandmama survived the Holocaust. And a demon.
And a fucking demon.
God.
Cousin Sophie is chilling.
She was there for the ride.
I feel like Sophie's gonna also be like the fucking hero right now and tell them what the fuck to do to seal it away again.
Yes, so she did end up giving Kevin some advice. She only gave him the advice. She's like, "I'm not getting involved in this. Nope."
Because she's smart.
Yeah.
She delegates.
Mm-hmm.
Boss ass bitch.
I'm gonna tell you what to do, but I'm not gonna get involved. Please get off my property.
Motherfucker, follow these steps. Get yourself to church. And fuck off. I'm old. I'm too tired for this. Go away.
I'm elderly.
No.
So, with this information, Jason contacted several rabbis?
Rabbi.
Okay. To figure out the best way to seal the spirit inside the box again. He didn't go into detail about how he sealed it, but later he says that it had been buried on his 26-acre property in Missouri in a military box until 12 years later, in 2016, when, guess who? Ghost Adventures host Zach Bagans buys the little wine cabinet for tens of thousands of dollars to be put in his haunted museum in Las Vegas.
Why? Why? My dude. my bro. Dude. Zach. I used to not. Like, come on. All right.
Reckless. So.
Wait. I did. In my research, I did find a video of Post Malone touching the Dybbuk box in the museum. So, like, I kind of knew this was happening. I just didn't realize that it was in the fucking ground for 12 years before this shit. I thought they just automatically went boom.
From one to the other.
Yeah.
Nope. It's been hibernating all these years. So, Jason, he did do a brief interview with Zach on Ghost Adventures Deadly Possessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of the first episodes of Deadly Possessions if you want to check it out. He says that after touching it for the first time in years, he vomited that same ectoplasmic substance from before. His eyes were bleeding and he broke out in hives. Same day that he unburied it again. He dug it up.
I said it last night. I'm gonna say it again. Play dumb games, get dumb rewards.
Ding ding ding
Like,
ding ding.
Win dumb prizes, play dumb games, get dumb prizes. You're fucking dumb.
So since the box has found its new home in Zach's museum, as you can expect, strange things immediately started to happen. He actually invites Kevin Mannis to talk about the Dybbuk Box, and at one point, Zach asks if he'd like to see it. After a lot of hesitation,
motherfucker better been like, no.
Poking the bear.
Like, no, I don't want to go see it.
I got some news for you. So, after a lot of convincing, Kevin heads down to the basement alone, where it's being kept at this time, and Zach observes him via cameras placed in the room. Almost immediately, while Kevin is alone in the room, he opens the box. Lights throughout the museum start to flicker, and Kevin wanders around the room, mumbling to himself in a different voice. It sounds like he's reciting a poem, and I could make out this part of it. So, quote, "Light from the hallway drift into my room, along with the shadow man too, I assume. Never before had I seen such a form that could change again as flame licks the storm." And then it goes on as flight as a monkey, he crept on his knees and perched on the end of my bed as you please. I would heed in the darkness as you fell asleep, and I come to you in your dreams with a promise to keep. In the nighttime to the morning, I'll torment your soul. And he goes on with this without breaking stride for like a good amount of time, while Zach and the rest of them are just freaking the fuck out.
I mean, I give him a solid 6 out of 10 stars for literary, but you didn't follow any like structure there, because you rhymed for a bit.
Yeah, until like the last,
and then you like
that
fucked
one
it
sentence.
up.
It was weird. It was just a weird thing
But
for him
also,
to just start doing.
like, you're telling me that on a TV show, Zach decided to just have somebody get possessed.
I mean, yeah, most often it's himself, but I guess if there's someone else that's willing to, jump through these hoops, he's like, go for it.
I have so many opinions.
We all do, trust me.
I'm gonna keep them to myself.
So, convinced that Kevin was invoking something, Zach brought him back up with Kevin visibly shaken and not recalling the strange voice that he had.
Where's your what are they called? Hold on, let me pull it up. Where's your Baal Shem? Come on, Zach.
I don't know, man. Oh, I think he actually does ends up taking both Jason and Kevin to a rabbi.
I mean, clearly
to like try to cleanse their energy, because he's like, y'all are way too obsessed with this. Let's cut that cord.
Obsessed with this, motherfucker! You introduced the guy to it again. That's not obsession.
He's like, this was a mistake. I can't have this on my conscience.
Oh my god! All right.
After that whole ordeal, visitors to the museum have experienced fainting spells, hearing voices, and seeing a tall shadow figure that evokes feelings of extreme anxiety and sadness. Feelings both Zach and his employees experienced after seeing the shadow figure. Post Malone, even visited the museum with Zach. And while Zach was the only one to touch the box at the time, Post Malone reports that in the following months, his plane almost crashed, he was in a car accident, and someone broke into his house.
So, in other words, Zach's being dumb because he has an object that is potentially causing havoc.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of doing like the morally sound thing of doing what Jason did and just bury the fucking box in the yard,
Nope.
This motherfucker has decided to just keep it in public view where people can go interact with it.
Yes. I will say his security for it has gotten a little better over the years, but yeah, at this point in time, not good things are happening. Not good things at all. So they've tried several times to open the Dybbuk Box during a few of their episodes because, of course, but something would always prevent them from doing so.
Like what?
Like whether that was technical difficulties or like some force in the room, or they just got too freaked out, or like, we can't do it, we're not going to do it.
See, all right, like technical difficulties aside, because that's something real. To me, that just like sounds like they're just trying to build the hype up again about the fucking box.
I mean that too, for sure. So yeah, they kept putting it off for a few episodes until during one of their quarantine episodes, which are really good, by the way. They finally opened the box themselves. Now, for context, there are 10 Dybbuk boxes that are scattered throughout the world. And when brought together, it said they unleashed the ultimate evil. Zach has 2 of them.
Wait a second.
Yes.
Are you telling me that these boxes are like the fucking infinity stones of the paranormal world?
Yes, you are correct. The
infinity stone. So Zach is Thanos? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Gonna put all of them in a circle around him.
He's gonna snap his fingers.
They're all gonna open at once.
And COVID 3.0 is gonna 4.0. We're on 3.0. 4.0 is gonna spread.
So, as they remove the plexiglass case, the crew members immediately start to feel unwell.
Oh, well, no shit. Continue. I'll try to like keep that in.
There's gonna be a lot of eye roll moments. I just will say that. So, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach blacks out and shoves the cameraman out of the room without a word. Really random. And the following day, as they review the security footage, they catch a fog rising out of the box with a pair of eyes.
Okay, but all I can think of is like fog with googly eyes.
I'm picturing your classic ghost. It's just a sheet with the 2 little eye holes.
See, that'd be funny.
Ooh.
That'd be funny too. But no, I'm literally imagining a like blob-like, but like see-through.
Yes.
Like, you know, the blob. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The blob. Like, of smoke and see-through with googly eyes. Like, have you ever seen the... Someone somewhere made a video of the Blob. Like, the original movie, The Blob.
Mm-hmm.
But they edited in googly eyes. So much just... That's what I'm thinking right now.
I love that.
We'll buy a Dybbuk box and we'll just put googly eyes on it. Not even open it. Don't do anything other than put googly eyes on it and then put it in the closet.
Yep. A lot less threatening that way, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, that night, Zach opens the box, both boxes actually,
Fucking dumbass.
and immediately starts to feel overwhelmed with thoughts he believes aren't his own, so he has to sit down.
What are the thoughts?
I think he described them as like very angry and violent.
Okay, but like, as an example, this week I've had very violent, angry thoughts.
Right, like intrusive thoughts, like the connotations behind the box, and there's a lot of anxiety involved. So,
but that's my point though. All of that is very real and like to me almost tangible. But like just saying, oh, you opened the box and now you're possessed too because you've got intrusive thoughts. No, you're having an anxiety attack.
Yep.
Take some breaths. Mindfulness, ground yourself, name 5 things you see in the room. Let's go from there.
It's gonna be okay.
It's okay.
So during the investigation, they put a spirit box device in the box, and as soon as Zach removes the candlestick holder, the device says, Kevin. Said, where's my dad?
Dad! Dad! Where are you?
Hello?
Hello? I know you can hear me. Oh, now the cat's coming over because that's how she talks to me.
You rang. Oh, kitty.
Here. We'll have
I'd like to see the baby.
Here's the Fleur baby.
Oh, kitty Fleur.
She can't hear you because you're in my headphones. But she's looking, she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Hello, Miss Figaro. Hello. Oh my goodness. Look at those scritches. If you aren't watching the video, you're missing out on some good kitty action.
She's a floof and she's adorable. Oh. And her name is Figaro, like Minnie Mouse's kitty cat.
So yeah, the Dybbuk Box originally sat in the middle of the room, in its own little room in the museum, but Figaro just floofed her tail in Leyna's face.
Yep, this is just life. This is life with a cat.
So, the Dybbuk Box originally sat in the middle of the room in its own little room in the museum, with only a small glass case over top of it, but now, in addition to the glass case, it is surrounded by a much larger encasement. I'd say it's about 6 feet by 6 feet and like 6 feet tall. So it's like this huge encasement. And it has Hebrew scripture etched into the glass, while Hebrew prayers are like constantly played on a loop in the room.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. It's so, and at this point you're not allowed to linger in there for very long. You can walk around the room one time and then you have to leave. Because I know they used to have it as just like the plexiglass and then the box, and people would like start fainting and getting injured while in the room. So they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't have people in here for very long anymore.
Maybe. Or, just sign a waiver.
Oh, you have to. In order to get into the museum. You're not allowed in if you're under 18, and you have to sign a waiver.
I mean, well, and that's how, well, this is one of our first episodes. That's how Penhurst, or not Penhurst, that's how, State Penn was.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Eastern State.
Yeah, because, well, for them, it was, you had a risk of having a brick fall on your head.
Yes, structural.
For these people, it's more of a, well, you might be possessed.
We can't be liable if you hit your head, if you faint, or if you become possessed.
No, I would really love to, I'd love to see what, like, toxicology reports were done on this fucking box. Because, again, the scientist in me wants there to, like, is thinking, they're all having similar physical symptoms. As well as psychological ones. And knowing that, like, So a topic we just talked about, Salem witch trials.
Mm-hmm.
The hallucinations that created a lot of the chaos were more than likely caused by
a contagion of some
a
kind.
contagion, a fungus, a hallucinogenic.
Right.
I'm just curious as to what the fuck is on this box.
I don't know, man.
What type of radioactive bullshit disease is like attached or like lives on this fucking box?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not willing to find out. So,
I mean,
that's all you, baby.
Well, no, see, if you were in the room in a complete fucking hazmat suit.
Yes.
With an air reserve. With like a purifier.
Yes.
Would you have the same symptoms as someone who was not in that type of precaution when you were in the proximity of the box?
I do wonder. I wonder if he would allow more scientists to like run tests on the box to see if they could find anything.
Yeah, because like, not to discredit Jason, but Jason kind of seemed like a dimwit. So I don't think Jason did quite enough to tell
Knowing
us.
what we know now, hundo.
Oh yeah, no.
Like you should have
knowing the fact that Jason pretty much killed somebody with a Dybbuk box. Like
should have thrown that thing in the trash.
Yeah. So I'm just curious as to what else was at play there. You know?
I don't know.
Curious. Curiouser and curiouser.
Yeah, they have extra security in the room now just in case.
Okay.
But if you sign up for the nighttime investigation, it is a little different. You're allowed to lock yourself in the room. And since it's nighttime, the lights and the audio are off.
So you're telling me that they take all of these precautions.
And then at nighttime, they're just
to be like,
good luck.
Psych! Fuck off. Have fun.
And so that's what Josh and I did when we were in Vegas this year.
You two are stu-nuts too. Did you sit in the room?
Yep.
Oh, you dumbass. That's why your computer's fucked up right now. You brought it home.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
Okay. I call you a dumbass lovingly, by the way.
Listen, I know what I am.
That was harsh. We've both done dumb stuff. I still have the penny. I still every now and then go, oh no, something's happening. And I go, am I still playing? And I throw it and I'm like, oh, it's Tails. I'm good.
Yeah. You know, day drinking, summoning demons, just girl things. So.
I mean, to the dramatic hair flip. Huh. Alright, so what happened when you and Josh...
You're killing me.
I haven't stopped laughing about that, to be honest. What have you and Josh?
Since he's here too, I'll tell you. So, Josh and I actually used a spirit box during our investigation there. We got a few voices that came through. The first voice said hello a few times. I asked for a name, and I got what I thought was either Nicholas and another one that said Patrick. And as we were walking around, I also got the words 12 and cigarettes or cigarette fiend. I couldn't really tell which one it was. And Josh had a pack of cigarettes in his pocket.
Did he have 12 cigarettes in the pack?
You know what? I don't know.
You guys should have counted.
I know, because I was re-listening to the audio before we recorded, and I caught the number 12, so I really don't know if he had 12 in his pack at that time, but now I'm really fucking curious.
I'm curious.
And then there was another voice that I thought said commit sins 2 different times. Like it said the phrase, and then like a couple seconds later it said it again with like the same inflections. So I'll put that audio at the end of this recording if you want to hear it. It's only like 5 minutes long.
So like how much do you want to bet? Like I of course want to hear it. But how much do you want to bet that the people who run that museum like play audio on like a wavelength or like a volume that's so low that you can't hear it, but your fucking devices can hear it, just to fuck with you.
That is possible. Like if you're doing like an EVP, I don't know if like if they would burn the resources to do that. And with the spirit boxes, it is radio frequencies.
That's fair.
But again, it's like going through multiple channels like per millisecond. So it's not like they could play an audio recording and that then the spirit box would pick it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Because it's going through so quickly and it wouldn't be able to catch certain words.
I would just bet money though to like,
and then maybe
so that they
have
like
cameras set up everywhere.
Well, but so that they have like credibility. Like it would give them credibility to have something like have you walk away with something like that. So I would, but this is also I don't trust people and I'm a skeptic sometimes.
I know that. I'm gonna also disagree with you on that, and I'm gonna take you to this museum in Vegas someday.
All right,
and we're gonna do the night tour together.
Let's go to Vegas.
And so, it was so fun. I will take you in a heartbeat.
Let's do it. I'm ready to run away. Let's go.
But later on, we're downstairs. And I'm asking questions in like the little library they have, and Josh wanders out into the hall, and I just kind of notice him staring down the hallway into the dark. And I think he's just, waiting for me to like finish up. So I come out of the library and I start walking down the direction he's looking, and he just straight mom arms me and he's like, "No, don't go down there." And I see his face and he's just like super emotional, like on the brink of tears. Later he tells me that he saw a super tall black figure with hollow white eyes and just got really, really fucking sad out of nowhere. And so when we get home from Vegas, we actually watched the quarantine episode with the Dybbuk Box, and guests are telling their encounters with the shadow figure and like their experiences and like what they felt. And I look over at Josh and he's just like visibly distraught, like hearing everything he experienced confirmed. And he had like no knowledge of the history of the Dybbuk Box or like what it did to people.
You've got your own like Odd Thomas character as a partner. I'm gonna let you know that.
He is super sensitive to that stuff.
Do you know that movie?
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's so sweet. I think it's a book too.
Oh, okay.
But pretty much I see dead people, but of a funnier variety.
Nice. But yeah, that's what I have for the Dybbuk Box. Yeah, I'll put the audio at the end of this if you want to listen to it, and if you can catch anything else that maybe I missed or mess with the audio if you want, like
maybe comment, subscribe, and tell us.
Yes. And if you had an experience with the Dybbuk Box, let us know.
Or if you have an experience with anything, let us know. Anything.
Yes. Send us some spooky stuff.
Per our postcards, if you've ever punched Ted Bundy in the face, we want to know.
So that is at passmethebooze.com/submit, or email us at passmethebooze@gmail.com.
Please, because we want to hear from you. On a side note.
Yes.
I started last night with the wine bottle up here.
As she takes another sip. And it's gone.
Yeah.
I need to take you out. I'm going to take you out on a date, and you're going to drink with me so you don't have to drink by yourself.
That'll be a nice change.
Yes. And I'm also going to take you to a haunted house.
Where?
I don't know, somewhere.
Okay.
Actually, let's try to plan to go to Britain Lodge and like.
Do they like still do the tours even though it's not October? We never found out.
Yeah, they were doing them in November. I'm pretty sure they do them in December as well. I'm pretty sure it's year round if you want to, but like off season is probably the time to go since not a lot of people would be doing it.
Yeah, and that's when you'd probably get like more shit.
Yes. So I'm going to take your skeptic ass to a spooky house, because that'll give me confidence and less scared.
Don't worry, folks.
Because you'll be rationalizing everything.
Don't worry, folks. We'll record everything. You'll get to hear my sarcastic ass going, dude, no.
It's a mouse.
That's definitely a recording in the wall. There's the speakerphone. There's the camera. What are we doing here?
Leyna, they don't have the funding for this. The tour guide was literally walking around with a plastic lantern.
I will say, when I went to Brayton Lodge, the tour guide had on a fucking like $3 Dracula cape and entire outfit. But you know what? It was like, you know what, dude, you're so dedicated. I respect you so much right now.
Oh yeah, they do a good job. It was a fun time. Yes, so
we'll go figure some shit out.
Yes, I have all my ghosty hunting equipment. I've been dying to put it to use. Let me take you on a date.
Do it. Yeah, let's go on a date, Lauren.
Okay.
You can't see my faces, most of you who aren't watching our YouTube.
She just gave me the eyebrows.
I got eyebrows.
Eyebrows. Okay.
Okay, so we can keep recording, or we can just be like, peace out, guys. We'll see you next time. But I gotta know, what's in the box? What's in the box? It's been bugging me. It's been bugging me all night. I was like, that wasn't there yesterday.
Do you want to know what it's for?
Yes.
Well, so it's kind of a bummer. But as you may know, I may not have told you, my would-be father-in-law passed away last December. Yeah. And his ashes have kind of just been sitting in the plastic box that the crematorium gave us.
Right next to the door.
Yeah, because Josh just hasn't really felt like putting them in something else. He hasn't wanted to deal with it yet. So for Christmas, I decided to take it upon myself to wood burn a Grateful Dead design into the box, because his dad was like a huge Grateful Dead fan. And so I'm just gonna put him in there.
That is so sweet. Aww. I'm gonna cry now.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that is so sweet. Seriously.
Like, I'm just like, if you're not gonna do anything, I'm gonna put him in a proper home. So
yeah.
That's my Christmas present to Dave.
I'm sure Dave appreciates it. Dave's like, thank you. This plastic was itchy.
You're welcome. And I've actually never wood burned anything, so this should be interesting.
If you need help, I have.
Excellent.
Mainly because I like burning things.
All right.
Well, we'll see you next week for whatever fucking topic we're doing next week. I don't know.
We have a list. I'll consult the list.
I will consult the list too.
Okay. Oh yeah. Happy fucking Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, happy fucking Hanukkah.
Duh.
Like, we should have said that at the beginning.
Mazel tov. I hope you have a really good Hanukkah.
Mazel.
Mazels. Be safe. And
enjoy the 8 days.
Yes. And we will see you next week.
Yes.
Bye. Hey y'all, thanks for listening. Fair warning, the audio coming up is recorded immediately with the Spirit Box, which, as some of you may know, can be very loud and obnoxious, so prepare your ear holes if you're not about that life. Okay, have fun, bye!
It did say hello. Hello?
Hi. Oh yeah, fine. Is there something you want to say? Oh. Just went silent. Are you done talking to us? Just went completely silent. No way. Did you make this go silent? Are you done talking to us? Is that your way of saying to get the fuck out? Can you tell us your name?
What is your name?
Said cigarettes. I'm not. You trying to tell?
I'm ready to get the fuck out.
Alright, we're gonna leave now. Thank you for talking with us. And you're gonna stay in here. Because I said so.